day, McVeigh, and happy Friday. We are live here in the Get Smart studio, and we hope you had a great day yesterday, and we'll get off to a good start today. You see, I'm here in my super cool McVeigh merch. Hopefully, I'll have a new one for you every single day. Let's get started with our birthdays for today. Happy birthday today to Rosalia Ann Carroll in our third grade and Kingston Chung in our first grade. There are no birthdays for tomorrow, Saturday, but on Sunday, happy birthday to Carly, to Sarah Martinez in our kindergarten, and Aria Bustamante in our kindergarten. So how are you? How are things going at home? Let me tell you how things are going here. First, I started working yesterday on my phone problem. So my phone is a bit of an issue for me. I don't want to carry it in my hands because I have to carry other things. So I took a paper clip and a rubber band and I invented this little phone carrier. And I mentioned that it might not be so good. Well, I was right. It is not exactly perfect yet. So the problems that I noticed with my design, let me show you. This is my original design. The first problem is if I need to access the phone, my device. So that's a problem. The second thing I noticed about my design is that it's not as sturdy as I would like it. In fact, it could slip off. So I've modified it. Let me show you what I did. I took my original design and now I put it on the back of the phone. So the rubber band is on the back. Now already I know there's a little bit of a problem with it, but I'm willing to try it out for a day. The problem that I can see is that this could block the camera. Now, I don't take pictures that often, so I'm not that concerned yet. But here's what I'm adding to it today to make it more sturdy and to keep my device from blocking the front of the phone, which makes it hard to use. I'm taking another rubber band, I'm wrapping it around the back, and I'm attaching it to the two ends of the paper clip. Now, this makes it much more sturdy for a couple of reasons. First, the texture of the rubber band actually causes some friction with the back of my phone, and it makes my device more stable. Secondly, now it's anchored better to the phone. So we'll see. I'm going to try this out tomorrow. We'll get back to you and let you know how it went. And I'm curious to know what you've created with your paperclip and your rubber band at home. Send me an email. Let me know. I'd love to know what you're creating at home. Or maybe you can help me with my problem, how to carry my phone. That would be great. And boys and girls, our joke book is started. I'm so excited about this. So my joke was, what do you call a bear with no teeth? So, wouldn't you know, Diana O'Connell in our kindergarten reached out and she created an illustration. Look at that. She created the gummy bears. That was the answer to the joke. So this is maybe the first page of our book. So what I loved about what Diana did was she drew the solution or the answer to the joke. So I was thinking that would be a super cool way to create a joke book. And I don't know of another joke book like that. So imagine that we ask the jokes and the answer is our illustration. That would be so cool. And there would be no joke book that I know of like that. I spoke to Mrs. O'Neill and she agrees and she thinks that maybe we can get this published. And how cool would it be that we could spread so much laughter and joy in the world? And so I have some new jokes to add. All right, are you ready? This one comes from Daya Singh Soki. He says, why don't scientists chew gum? The answer is, you ready? They prefer experiments. Get it? So how would we draw they prefer experiments? Can somebody come up with a solution to that? So what we would have is an image of that, a drawing, and then in small writing, the way that I did here, you can't see, the solution is there, but it's illustrated by Diana. This one comes from Mr. Triunfo. Think of how you might draw this. What do you call a cow who plays an instrument? If you said a musician, you're right. Okay, so what would a picture of a musician look like? Maybe it's a cow playing the violin or playing the flute. Maybe it's a cow singing. I don't know. What would that look like? I don't know. And this one is super interesting. And this one is coming from Jackson Bogart in Mrs. Cohen's class. Now, listen carefully, this one. It's a play on words. Did you hear about the fire at the circus? I didn't, did you? It was intense. Get it? Intense. T-E-N-T-S. But intense, I-N-T-E-N-S-E, sounds the same. So how would we draw the fire at the circus intense, because a circus has tense, and it'd be intense and funny? What would that look like? So that the reader of our book would see this picture and think, oh, intense, I get it. Can somebody start to create for us? So we're working on the invention convention. What are you inventing at home? And we are working on our joke book. We also need a title for our joke book, by the way. I've come up with a couple of ideas. Mighty Funny would be one of them. But what would be a cool name for our joke book? If you have one, again, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Okay. And now, brand new for today, we are starting Name That Place. These are coming from Mrs. Conklin's class. Here we go. Clue number 1. You'll get a second clue tomorrow. This place is the home of the oldest bookstore in the world. It is the capital. The oldest bookstore in the world. That's your clue. And finally, boys and girls, our mighty kind moment of the day. Let's get the drum roll. Da, da, da. All right, here we are. You ready? You can make a difference. Today's the day. Absolutely, boys and girls. And that reminds me of a story that the faculty and I have read together that maybe you've heard in your class, but I'm going to read it to you now. And parents, maybe you might have heard this one too, but hear it now. It goes like this, the starfish story. One day, a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy picking something up and gently throwing it into the ocean. He approached the boy and said, "What are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they may not live." "Son," said the man, "don't you see that there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can't possibly make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it back into the water. Then he smiled at the man and he said, "I made a difference to that one." And then he kept going. So think about that, boys and girls. You know, sometimes there are so many things on our mind, so many things to be doing, but we can make a difference one person at a time. What can you do to make a difference for somebody today? What can you do that's kind? Yesterday we talked about rising by lifting others. What can you do at home today? Maybe you get the chance to fight or argue with your brother or sister. You say, "You know what? I'm going to let this one go." Maybe you share a little bit more. What can you do to help mom or dad out? You can make a difference. Yesterday we talked about maybe making a card or sending a nice message. What can you do to make a difference from where you are in your home? Because you can. How do I know? Because you're a mighty mind and a mighty kind mighty mind. And of course, boys and girls, as always, every day is a good day to get smart and be kind to both each other and the earth. Stay tuned until tomorrow because guess what? We have a special guest. Let's have a wonderful day.